Hello everyone, Nubkeks here and welcome back to the road to Grandmaster. Today we're jumping into Brax's Holdout. Let's see how this draft goes down. Let's see how it goes down. So yeah, the series is keeping on going. Thank you guys for the support. If you do like the series, I mean, make sure to give it a thumbs up. You know, let me know in the comments anything that, I guess if you see me kind of wibbly wobbling on some aspect of this, do let me know. For example, I think one person was asking to make sure to show the talents at the end. So I hope I remembered to put the talents up at the end of the video. But yeah, if there's anything else that you would like to see or anything that you think is great and want to keep going, do let me know down below. Enemy team is going to first ban Rexar, which I think makes quite a lot of sense. He's a very strong solo laner. And he has some fairly niche counters. I think Alarak used to be good against him. I suspect probably still is. I think Illidan can do pretty well. And yeah, maybe some others. But I'm not entirely sure either. But yeah, he's a pretty good one. And a ban coming out as well. Garrosh and then the Alarak ban. So this is a bit of a weird one. A Nubkeks let straight on through the draft, which I think is pretty crazy. And the enemy team doesn't even pick it. They actually grabbed Thrall, which I think is really bizarre. Thrall's obviously an okay laner. Like, he's more of a team fighting hero, though. So he's not the strongest solo lane by any means at all. So very bizarre stuff happening here. Then we have Hanzo and Lucio come in. I mean, the Lucio's alright, I suppose. But the Nubkeks actually slips through all this way. And the enemy team does grab Chromie then. So in my opinion, a very bizarre draft so far. I think the choices don't particularly make sense. And yeah, I just think they're a little bit odd. I mean, like, the enemy team is banning Rexar. They're hardly going to run Alarak, seeing as Alarak's good against him. So why ban the Alarak? Yeah, a bit weird, in my opinion. And a Nubkeks being let through. You can see we do have a main tank player here. He's our middle player. Seeing that Alarak, seeing the Nubkeks come through, zero reaction was had. So he just doesn't care, I guess. He's like, oh, the best tank in the game right now. Nah, fuck it. Fuck it, I'm a main tank player. I don't care. I don't care. Anyway, alright, so we've got a Tyrande ban for us. I think that's pretty decent. You know, she's a good, strong healer. A Diablo ban by the enemy team. We obviously do need a tank. At this point, I was kind of panicking because no one was hovering anything at all. So, yeah, I was going to grab Ragnaros. So, Thrall is not the best laner. Neither is Ragnaros, though. I actually am not entirely sure, but I feel like Thrall is probably one of the better lanes for Ragnaros to go into. Ragnaros typically loses most solo lanes, but it's okay. On Braxis especially, because, well, you lose the lane, you'll eventually lose the objective. But guess what? You just drop a lava wave, you just drop your molten core on it, and you're gonna be fine. This made me laugh as well. Rag solo lane? Question mark. I didn't actually honestly know what to say. I was like, well, what other sort of Rag is there on Brax's Holdout? The dreaded 4-man Rag? Not exactly the best at it. But then again, looking at the enemy team's comp, they've got some pretty weird stuff too. So they actually picked up an Imperious towards the end of the draft. And interestingly enough, you can see that Imperious and Thrall are actually duo queue together. So I wonder if they didn't decide, you know, they might have said, hey, hang on a second. Thrall into Ragnaros, oh, that's a pretty bad lane. How about we do Thrall in the 4-man, because he's okay. I mean, compared to Ragnaros 4-man, he's much better, right? And we can put Imperious in the top lane. I wonder if that's what they decided, but nonetheless, it does leave them with quite the odd and quite the strange sort of composition. So, yeah, there you go. But anyway, we're playing Rag, and we're solo lane. We know what we're up to, and let's switch back to normal speed. And we're back to normal speed. Ta-da! Amazing. Okay then, so Ragnaros. Let's talk about Rag a little bit. He's got a multitude of different builds, actually, that you're typically going to build around, with lots and lots of strong synergies between the talents. Really strong synergies, like obscenely strong ones. So he typically has a build around his Q ability, so Sulfurous Smash, I think. No, that's his heroic. I don't know what the Q is called. Hand of I don't know. No, Hand of Ragnaros is another talent. Whatever. He smacks people with a big fiery hammer. Yeah, that's what it is. Fiery hammer. That's what it was called. And he's got his meteor. I actually don't know what any of his abilities are called, guys. I was just thinking that. I was thinking about his W and his E. I don't know what they're called either. He's got his meteor, and then he's got the blast wave. I'm pretty sure it's called blast wave. Okay, we're good. We got one out of 3. Nice. 10 out of 10. So we're against this Imperius in the solo lane. And again, I imagine that we're going to like lose if we trade into him, right? It's probably not going to go too well because he can do this. And Imperius does like a whole ton of damage up front. It's pretty bad news. Applying his trait and proccing his trait. I was actually expecting the globe to be there, but it wasn't. You can see I actually traded pretty well into him there. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I was like, I'll take that. I wanted to catch him in a little bit of a trap there. You know, you can actually cast your Blast Wave on minions as well as, you know, on heroes. So this is pretty good by him. Like, obviously, that's exactly what he should be doing. Probably a little bit greedy for me to take the globe. But again, you can see we actually traded pretty well into him. So at this point in the game, I was kind of going, wow, okay, you know what? This might actually work. This might actually be okay. Obviously, Imperius is way less wave clear than us as well. So that's going to be a massive factor in terms of how we play this lane. In fact, that's usually what you're going to be playing around as the Rag, is the fact that you do have good wave clear. And you can exploit that a little bit. So you can see, for example, right here, we are able to drop our Meteor. We're going to miss one minion, but Imperius is now in a bit of a pickle, right? As soon as we touch this, it deactivates it as an enemy control point. You can see he still has those range minions to deal with. I'm actually not sure what he's doing here. He's trying to slow them down or something. I'm not exactly sure what. I'm playing this a little bit safe. Could probably be more aggressive. I didn't want to E in under the towers, though, and start taking some of that. Let's just dismount him. And, yeah, go trade into him a little bit here. And yeah, you can see that, funnily enough, Rag actually trades pretty decently into him. Now, this is a massive mistake by me. This is so greedy. You can see that he's going to get his cooldowns up way before I get mine. So bad news for us. That was not smart. I should have just walked away. But yeah, you can see that it seems like Rag, at least prior to level 4, when obviously Imperius gets a lot more self-healing. And he gets a lot of wave clear at 7 then as well. So those two things will radically change up the lane. But levels 1, 2, and 3... Rag trades into him actually relatively reasonably. It's not the worst thing in the world. So, yeah, that was something I learned in this game. It's pretty interesting. In terms of Rag's builds, let me just touch on those as well here while we're just doing kind of wave clear stuff. And just generally while this is going on in the background, you'll probably see me trying to be relatively patient. I really think Imperius should punish me harder. There you go. He's doing the right thing here. But he should be trying to punish me more effectively for going in so aggressively. You can see he makes a mistake here. He punishes too late when all of his minions are dead. And then he actually loses a lot of hit points in return. That worked out well for us and the team got some kills. But yes, in terms of talent builds, the W build, the Meteor build, I really don't think it's much good at all. It's been sort of popular amongst some players for a long time. It's always been there as like a build people like to take. I really don't think it's good. I really think it's a bit of a trap build. Would not recommend it unless you're going to be playing like an extremely backline type hero. As you can see in this situation, by the way, you know, we're playing for the longer game here. I think this is pretty interesting, right? We push out the wave, and instead of running straight to the objective, I'm just going to go up and grab the regen globe, because why not, right? That will give us the health and mana that we need to trade into this guy. So we've got a nice gang coming in here by ETC as well. Good little jump by Imperius to try to get out here. We're actually going to put our blast wave on ETC. It does give a slight move speed boost. Imperius actually healing. His E ability does a small bit of self-healing. He actually almost survived, but a nice pick off in the end. And good job by ETC. I thought it was a really good gank. And this gives me a nice chance to Hearthstone out and get some mana back, because we are running low. A Q build for Ragnaros is very strong, and E build are both very strong. A couple of big differences is that obviously Q build is a quest at level 1. So you're not going to get that power spike until at least a few minutes into the game, realistically. Whereas the E ability, which improves the damage of our blast wave and the size of it as well, that's just straight from level 1. Like, as soon as we take the talent, we're getting full value. So I do like it for that, especially in the solo lane situation. And in particular, with the Q build, right? So the Q build, the keys to the Q build is number 1, you just get more damage on your Q, and it's a quest to kill minions with it. Here, this is a big mistake. You can see I was actually expecting this to go a lot better. We were able to dodge the spear leap by the Imperius. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. Like, if he can trade that well into me, I don't know why he wasn't trading that well before. This is a nice kill by him. I probably should have attempted to dodge, but he predicts and kills me. So that's just really bad play. You can see that he's on like 90% hit points. Like, we did absolutely nothing there. We just came back and died. That was definitely an overestimation of our level 7 talent, which is blistering attacks. So whenever we do spell damage, it stacks up to 10 times, and then you get 60% increased damage on your next basic attack. Or every 10 seconds, sorry, by default, and each basic ability hit will reduce the cooldown by an additional 1 second, so it makes it come up faster. You can see that there's actually, I don't know if this is a bug or not, there's actually no visual guide. Like, there's no little thing in the bottom left, there's nothing to signify when that's actually available or not. Okay, it comes up there. There it is. So I guess it disappears when it's available, I guess is what it does. But it's a little bit odd, because you'd look at this right now and you wouldn't know that I actually had the ability at all. But it should help with sort of trading into single targets. Obviously, your meteor ticks so fast that it will give you a lot of stacks very quickly, a lot of cooldown reduction after some big basic damage. So yeah, I was kind of expecting, oh, well, if I've been trading well into Imperius so far, I'm going to trade really well into him with this. When I attempted it, and we totally died. So yeah, don't make that mistake, because it's pretty bad. Don't feed like a monkey. Always a good tip. I never finished the idea about what's crucial about the Q build, right? The crucial thing about the Q build is at level 7, Hand of Ragnaros, which is all about hitting 2 heroes with your Q, right? Which halves the cooldown and refund. I think it refunds half the mana or something like that. This is a really nice gank again by the Hanzo. So Imperius attempting to heal off it, and he did a good job actually. I was slowed down, so I wasn't actually able to follow up damage on him, but Hanzo finished him off nonetheless, so that was fantastic. Really nice ganks by my teammates this game so far. So yeah, as you can see then, if you're thinking about it, what that means is that your level 7 talent with the Q build is all about being in the team fight. It's really no use at all. Like, it literally does nothing if we're only against one hero in the solo lane. It would only be when the gank comes in that would actually do something. So that's why I decided that going for a blistering attacks type build with the E would be the thing to go for. So level 1 on the E obviously gives us more 75% more damage on your E. So, you know, it's a pretty big deal. And increases the radius by 15%, which is nice. Then at level 4, actually very useful ability. It gives it a 40% slow for 2 seconds, which is really, really powerful. So this is great, by the way. Okay, let me come back to the game. Let me talk about talents after, because we are level 10. The enemy team is not, so we're able to come in here and be aggressive. You can see that we do a ton of burst damage there to the Brightwing, but she'd already started channeling her teleport. She is able to get out. We're just trying to make something happen here with that level 10, but it's just not quite working out. So that's rather disappointing, right? Roaming down there with the level 10 advantage, obviously against Imperius, we're able to push him in. He's kind of stuck soaking his wave. It's like, all right, we got level 10. Let's make something happen. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Heroics were dropped, stuff was dropped, and no joy, no luck for us. I'm going to be cheeky here. You'd imagine Imperius would jump out at me at this point. Looks like he's actually not going to, though, so that's nice. Could potentially be running down bot lane with their level 10. But no, he's actually still up here. He's just kind of chilling. He's just having a grand time. He's just having a grand time. I don't know. He's like, nah, I'm not going to trade into Rag after he's used all his abilities to wave clear and punish me for my lack of wave clear. I'm just gonna chill. It's cool, man. No hassle. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. So you can see, you know, this is the thing, right? We're just going to aggressively wave clear here. And I guess the problem with Imperius is that if I kill his entire wave, it means all my minions will shoot him, which is some nice extra damage for us. So that's a bit tricky. You can see, again, the sort of bouncing back and forth. The Imperius is kind of being torn, isn't he? He's like, oh, I want to take the point, but oh, I also want to take the experience. So he kind of has to keep bouncing back and forth, and it's a little bit tricky for him. You can see that, you know, I'm just leaving the point. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I'm just going to take the opportunity to clear. There we go. That's what he should be doing. There you go. Good man. But you can see there's something that I should have been doing this whole time as well. Going back to talents. Oh my god, the segues. This is incredible. Level 4, your blast wave will slow enemies by 40% for 2 seconds when you hit them. So we can totally use that to just kite out Imperius. Like his biggest single target burst damage. As you can see with Hanzo. Nice. Nice. He just came, he saw me feed earlier and he was like, Hanzo was like, my turn, bro. Alright, I'm gonna come. I know we've got Ragnaros with like a lava wave and a molten core who's literally just gonna kill this entire wave himself. But wait, what if I came up here to just instantly die? Would that help? I'm like, no, Hanzo, it wouldn't. He's like, right, I'm gonna do that. No, Hanzo, don't do it, don't do it. He's like, oh, too late, I'm dead. Haha, Omega lol. But yeah, anyway, Imperius His E, obviously, he keeps applying a trait, and then he can keep proccing the trait with the level 1 max HP damage thing to do a lot of damage, and it's all bad news. Our team are kind of getting fucked royally down bot lane, by the way, seeing as Hanzo, you know, was kind of dead for that whole section. So our team trying to push with our wave did not go so hot, and they got kind of annihilated. A little unlucky, one might say. Yeah, level 7 with the E builds, you're going to grab the blistering attacks. E gives you movement speed as well on whoever you cast it on, so it can help you get in to actually land that blistering attacks. And the bigger E AoE is actually just going to help you hit more targets. So yeah, it's pretty nice, it's pretty dope. We're going to grab Lava Wave, obviously, on Braxis. You pretty much grab it every time. I'm just pinging danger because I don't know where Imperius is, and this seems like the sort of time he might come down. Hanzo, arrows, threading the needle through the middle of the enemy team. And I'm on the way down. This is actually okay though. Like, to be honest, our team are kind of fucked. They're super low hit points, and like Lucius instantly dead. But Imperius isn't here, so there is some opportunity. And ETC, MVP ETC lands an amazing mosh pit, catching 2 enemy heroes. Interrupts the Brightwing teleport as well, just to be extra rude. We're going to give him the movement speed here to chase down Nubkeks. He's going to burrow over there. Well, that's his escape, so he can't do anything. You can see Imperius is trying to push, right? This is the weakness of Imperius. Like, yes, he'll out-trade me, but he's not going to do a whole lot when I'm not there. I'm actually just going to drop a Lava Wave up top, which is just basically says, you know what, Imperius? You're not achieving anything. Good luck, thanks. Good push, though. Good push, though. You got a little bit, I suppose. But I was able to come down and kill your team, so no real hassle there. So that's kind of nice, eh? Level 13 is a really good survivability tier with this build. So when Blast Wave damages an enemy hero, you gain a shield equal to 100%. 100% of the damage dealt for 3 seconds. So yeah, obviously our E is hitting relatively hard. It hits in an AoE. So if we do hit multiple heroes with it, we're going to get a big honking shield, which will help us stay alive. So you can kind of play around that a bit with Rag. It helps you a lot to be more aggressive. With the Q build, you're basically relying on the self-healing from your Q, which gets very powerful to try to keep you in the fight a little bit. With the W build, I don't know, you're just kind of stuck there crying because you picked the worst talent build, I suppose. So I don't know exactly what you do. You just kind of stand back and throw Ws, and you're like, I'm a really shit Li Ming, but I'm on fire, so that's cool. Level 16 coming up here, though, is the biggest power spike. Like, it's a ridiculous power spike for Ragnaros. It's totally bonkers. So, we're going to get Blast Echo. After our first Blast Wave explodes, a second one is cast for free on me. So I can cast it on an ally, then it will proc on me. I can cast it on myself, and a second one will trigger straight after. So this literally doubles the value of every single talent we've taken so far. Doubles it, right? You know that damage bonus we're getting at level 1? Well, now we get 2 E's instead of 1, so we basically doubled the damage bonus. Hanzo, once again, got the drive-by arrow coming at you with the drive-by. Love it. Again, this is a 4v5 with Imperius, but ETC, is he gonna make the play? He is. ETC almost makes the god play. Making up for Hanzo. Oh boy. Oy, oy, oy. But unfortunately, yeah, we're gonna lose this. Level 16 5v4 because reasons. But yeah, Giant Scorcher is the one for which is very powerful too for the Q build, which makes your Q do 9% max HP damage over time. You can see here as well, I'm sort of bouncing back and forth between, like, I don't really want to go in on this. I'm just kind of checking him out as well. I'm just sort of bouncing back and forth, looking for, and this is fantastic. So Nubkeks is really deep, and he's just going to get focused and taken down. That's a big mistake for him. That was a tough situation for me as Rag. So I'm going, oh, I want to use the Molten Core, but I kind of can't, but I kind of want to. I'm like, we've got level 16. I really want to actually make something happen here, but it's just not quite working for us. You can see Imperius, he's still solo laning. He's like, what's Heroes of the Storm? It's not a solo, this is a solo experience. Right, this has nothing to do with working with your team. So, good news for us, though. You can see we're just waiting here, and there we go. ETC goes in. Good man, ETC. Hanzo actually lands a heroic for once, though it didn't actually matter. They're going to die anyway, but we'll give it to him anyway, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, Imperius showed he was still in top lane. They already have a Nubkeks dead. That means the enemy team is trying to defend 3v5. So, you just walk under their fort, and we kill them. Pretty simple. Imperius, that's alright. He's like, guys, I'm here in the bot. I heard this bot lane's great fun. I'm here. Oh, fuck my shit. He actually lives for longer than I expected. I guess he went for some of the defensive whatever molten armor. I don't know what that's called. I don't know any ability names. I just know the buttons, man. His E thing. He just went for the healing one, I suppose, because he lived for quite a while. I mean, he still died, but he lived for a while. So that's nice, I guess. Sorry, I'm just going to be quiet because this is action-packed right now. Look at us. Capitalizing on the enemy team's death. That's right. You have a solid 5v4 on the map. Look at this. Look at this aggression. Incredible. Don't worry, I'm gonna Hearthstone out and I'm gonna do it. I'll do it. There we go. Bam. Actually achieving something during an enemy death timer. Amazing. Amazing. Gotta come up and clear this camp. One thing we can do with Meteor is actually burst the cocoons really fast, because again it does damage so quickly. Like that actually. I'm psychic. I must have remembered. Subliminally. We're gonna give ETC a bit of a speed boost, get in there. We're gonna run into... That's actually a really nice time trap by Chromie. I think it made them dodge the ring, or certainly made them immune for some of the mosh pits. So that's actually pretty nice. You can see I was trying to body block the Blades of Light from Imperius, so they wouldn't kill Lucio. Knowing that I get a shield for my E, I don't know if anything happened with it, but there you go. Anyway, here's the objective, so it's pretty nice for us. We're going to just drop a Lava Wave bot lane, which will clear out a good chunk of that. And we're going to be able to just push in here and use Molten Core aggressively, actually, just to help secure this keep. In hindsight, I'm looking at this, wondering actually if it might not have been smarter to save it and to use it on the actual keep instead. Yeah, probably would have been smarter, actually, looking at it now. It would be smarter to just push in as Rag while they're dead, and then have Molten Core for when they respawn. Mistakes were made, team. Mistakes were made. Who's the noob now? It's me. Anyway, we're on the core. And we still have a good chunk of our wave still alive. Here's level 20 as well. We're going to try to get ETC out of here. I probably shouldn't go in that deep. Going to have Submerge, though, which will heal. Which is nice. And, yeah, well, the core's dead, so it doesn't really matter anyway. We win. Haha, hooray. And there you go, guys. That was a look at Rag game. So we saw some... it was kind of fun to talk about solo laning, right? And being like, okay, how do we play into a losing matchup? We got to see me feed at least once. And then try to play smart around, like, wave clear and map stuff. I think we saw some nice rotations from our team. Because Praxis is secretly all about rotations now. It's actually a much better map than it was when it first came out. So that was pretty nifty. Some E-build Rag. And Imperius living the dream in the top lane and probably losing his team the game. Huh. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.